Bent a blog here in Totland, and we're with
Wayne Hemingway, Esquire, MBE. Professor Wayne Hemingway, MBE, Esquire. Doctor.
That's the short title.
That's it. Yeah.
Now, so you've put yourself forward for helping out Totland with their rec here.
Yeah, I did. I did a talk at these. I think it was Green Island Awards last year, and talked about sustainability and about social sustainability, and also about what potential Isle of Wight has to be a, in this day and age when people are really thinking about travelling closer to home and to places that are more natural. Just talking about that, and then out of the blue came an email from a local Totland resident talking about this fantastic space and all the space around it, and saying that they've had a dream for a long time to make it more special than it is now, and to make it an area that is a wonderful place to come from being a baby right up to when you die. And would we like to get involved? And they said they had a very small budget to come up with an initial kind of vision for it. And we said, I think we surprised them, because they seemed very surprised when we said yes, and said yes because I come over to the Isle of Wight reasonably regularly with my little lad on little cycling expeditions on the fast cat. We come over to Bestival, and it's just got a nice feel about the place. And I just thought, well, if we can tie it in with coming over and doing a bit of cycling and doing a bit of visiting, then it doesn't matter about the money that much. The fact that there's hardly any money in it, we'll just do it. And then what happened was they mentioned that we were getting involved, and it must have been in the local local websites or whatever. And suddenly, all these artists and creative people came out of the blue, and the emails that came in was fantastic. The kind of positive attitude it was coming towards doing something here, and people who were sculptors and artists and landscapers and gardeners and designers saying, "Oh, we'd like to get involved in that." And so we've all met up, and it's a great set of people, and it should be a nice project. And our aim is just to be able to come up with some ideas and then to pass it on to the locals to implement it, really.
I mean, there is a fantastic, rich seam of artistic talent on the island, and I think, as someone said before, you throw a stone and you're going to find a woodcarver around here. That's just an example.
Well, it's because when you get places that are very nice, like this place, are going to attract people with taste, and artists and designers have taste, and so you end up finding that in kind of reasonably remote but pretty and livable places of Britain or the world, you end up with an artistic community. We set up something. I live in Chichester, or just outside Chichester on the coast there, and about 2 years ago we set up something called the South Coast Design Forum, because there was a big group of designers and artists and who had graduated towards the area because of quality of life, and because as a designer you don't need to. You can work from home quite a lot, so you can have your home in a nice place and still do your business. And this has got exactly the same vibe about it.
Yeah, and I guess in the online world it becomes all the more easy to do that.
Yeah, I mean, creativity. The last thing you want to be doing is stuck in an office in a city. Sometimes you need to be there to do your business and to meet people and things. But you can be creative in what some people consider to be a backwater. But what's some of these so-called backwaters can be very conducive to creative thought. It certainly has worked that way for us, and it seems to be it works for the people that we've met who live here.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the views around the island, around here as well, especially fresh water as well.
Yeah, and we're going to
stunning, world class.
Yeah. And we're going to try and open up some on the hill up there, so that you can go and sit and look over those views. And I think the other reason why I got involved in here is because I think the Isle of Wight is one of those places where quirky things are happening, and we like quirky things. Well, here there won't be any off-the-shelf solutions here. We don't want to have to go to some play equipment producer in Kettering just because the council think that it's safe play equipment. It'll be a case of working with the community and local artists on doing something that feels natural, that kids themselves have got an input into, that challenges them, where they might get a splinter or they might fall off and hurt their leg, but at least they're learning about free play and natural play. And really, I think at the moment, with a lot of the stuff that we're doing with play for kids, it's about we're creating battery kids rather than free range kids. But it won't just be about kids. We envisage places here where where adults can play their sport, where there's sport for all ages, so there's petanque or boule or whatever they call it. But there's also situteries, so you could go out for a walk and with your dog or whatever, or with your husband or your wife, and you find a place to sit and unwrap your sandwich in a nice place, and somebody else might come and sit next to you and you have a chat, and just think about the social element of design, and think. But also as well, I think about the economic element of design. We one of the ideas is to create an area where people can have a shared allotment. It's very cool again to grow your own. Not just cool, it's very sensible and organic and all of that, and it's
desirable.
Yeah, and desirable. So there's no reason why people can't be growing stuff and then coming back over here somewhere, and there's a series of really well designed benches that, modern version of trestle tables, where once a month they could be selling that product, and
maybe even swapping it,
Yeah.
like in the old days.
Yeah, and maybe it's not going to make anybody rich, but the social experience of that is very important.
It's a good sized site, isn't it? I didn't realise quite how large it was.
Well, we're only seeing a bit of it here as well, because of the side of the trees there.
It goes beyond, is it?
More than, I would say, this is less than a third of the site that we're looking at now. Maybe 20 to 25% of the site that we can see here.
Right. So there's a huge potential.
Huge.
And what can people do? We're talking about all this talent on the island. Is that something you still want to hear from people and contributing ideas?
Yeah, I think the thing that we're trying to do now, the next thing is we're going to put all the ideas that we've all talked about today into some kind of document which will get uploaded. So I'm not sure how they're going to do it locally, but some kind of website.
I think we said we'd help out.
You're going to help out on that, great. And then from them, we just want people to contribute, to say what they like, what they don't like. If they want to get involved, then let us know. If just get more people. The best thing that it could be is a community-led development rather than something that's led by a team of designers. We're the only ones from outside the island, which is great, and we don't want to add anybody else from outside the island. It should come from here, from Totland and the wider area.
Great. Well, look, thanks for your time,
Yeah.
and look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, cheers.